Hi guys, this is Klazart bringing you another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on the MSL losers match, and this is going to be between SK Telecom Team 1 Bisu and Free. Now, I did mention the Bisu's team name there, but this is not a Pro League matchup. This is the Individual Star League, the MSL, the Avalon MSL, and it's going to be Bisu versus Free and Carthage. Bisu looks like he's going to be in brown, and Free looks like he's going to be in white. So we've got Free at the bottom right-hand corner of the map at the 5 o'clock position, and Bisu at the 11 o'clock position at the top left-hand corner of the map. This is a two-player map, Carthage 3, and I'm looking forward to this game. And Bisu sending a probe out very early on without even building a pylon. Could we be seeing some sort of a proxy build here from Bisu? I was just going to talk to you guys a little bit about how Bisu has faced some strange upsets recently and has lost matches by trying strategies that he doesn't need to try, by trying unorthodox strategies and going for crazy builds and rushes and things like that. And it hasn't been working out for him, and he's lost some high-profile games recently, up to the point where some I stress, or rather few, are starting to pander around the idea, possibly, of a Bisu slump. I don't believe in it. I'll believe in it when I see it, but it always begins with a lack of confidence. But this is not a lack of confidence. Bisu planting his pylon, his first pylon outside Free's base, is completely insane strategy for Bisu. I'm not sure. This isn't a best-of-3 matchup. This isn't a best-of-5 matchup. This is a best-of-1 matchup. If he loses this, he's out of the MSL. And it just has to take guts and balls the size of Rambo to be able to do something like this. And that's what Bisu's gone for. And Free, now setting his probe out after putting up his gateway, is going to see this straight away. Bisu perhaps hoping that Free was going to go for some sort of a fast expand, but now Free has seen what Bisu's doing, and Free's got the same build. Free's gone for pylon gateway, and he's got a stronger economy, and he's seen Bisu's gateway outside of his main. He's now going to bring all of his probes out, and I just cannot see how this was ever going to be a successful build for Bisu unless Free was going for some sort of a 12 Nexus. And that was the only circumstance under which Bisu might have been able to make this a success. Bisu putting a second gateway down as well. His first gateway now coming under fire from about 5-6 probes of Free's, and Free knows if he can take that first gateway down, he's going to be in a really strong position. His own gateway is complete. Bisu's gateway just now warping in as well, already lost half its health. I would be surprised if he manages to get even a single Zealot out. Bisu, however, the one advantage Bisu has is that he's still mining from all of his probes, and he started up a pylon in his main as well. So he's got to hope that he pops at least a Zealot out from that gateway as his second gateway warps in. Otherwise, this is going to be a horrible situation for Bisu, and Free takes out the gateway. Bisu loses his first gateway. Over adventurous there by Bisu, and I'm not sure how well this is going to work out for him, because really he's starting out with a massive disadvantage now. The only question is the question of balance. Free having those 6 probes off the line for the whole time that he was attacking that gateway, how much of an economic advantage would that give Bisu? And Bisu now with a minor pylon as well. Bisu trying to do everything in his power to delay his opponent's economy. Now losing the second gateway as well, so he's lost 300 minerals at least in losing those 2 gateways, as well as time, and it's just a question of what sort of advantage, if any, he would have gained from that build. And I just don't see the point of it. If you're going to do some sort of a proxy build like that, at least try and hide the gateways, planting them right outside your opponent's natural expo where they're going to be spotted straight away. It's never going to work. And I'm not sure Carthage is the sort of map that kind of build would work on. I'm sure Bisu has practiced it in the past, and finally the minor pylon gets taken out as well. I'm sure Bisu has practiced this build on practice matches. I'm not sure what he was anticipating that Free would do, but it hasn't worked out for him. And I think, generally speaking, again, it's hard to calculate what sort of economic advantage either player has gained by that, but generally speaking, when you go for a strategy like that and you don't really inflict any damage on your opponent, don't even kill a couple of probes, generally it means you're behind. So theoretically Bisu should be behind, but it's just a question of how many resources Bisu gained, how many more minerals he was able to mine. Remember, the other advantage that Free has is that his tech should be ahead of Bisu's. He's had his gateway up longer, which meant that he could start, but again, he didn't have the minerals to start up his cybernetics core and his gas, and I'm not exactly 100% sure of the timing of the gas of the 2 players. But wow, crazy start to this matchup. Bisu going for the unorthodox, not managing to pull it off, but he is a caliber of player. He does have the skill to be able to bounce back from this and still give Free a good game and still possibly even beat Free. And really at this point, I think it's too early for me to speculate as to whether either of these players has a distinct advantage. Remember, Free's cybernetics core, so it does look like Bisu has the advantage because Free only now starting his cybernetics core. Meanwhile, Bisu's got a couple of Zealots out just chasing that probe of Free's around in his base, but Bisu does have the advantage in terms of tech. Free's cybernetics core going up a lot later than, well, not a lot, but significantly later than Bisu's. Free therefore immediately putting that second gateway down as well. Bisu now scouting around with his probe in Free's base. Both players scouting at each other's bases. Bisu hasn't started up a second gateway in his main yet. He's content to stick with the one gateway. So it looks like he's going to be going for a more tech-based build. He's got his Dragoon out. He needs to take that probe down before he can start his tech buildings because he doesn't want to reveal his tech to Free. But I'm sure Free's going to anticipate that Bisu hasn't put a second gateway down and therefore will probably be going for some sort of a tech build, probably a Robo Bay, or possibly even a Citadel. It'll be interesting to see what sort of building Bisu goes for next. Looks like Free might be getting just about ready to take his... And Bisu is going for the Citadel. So Bisu is going for the Citadel. We could possibly be seeing DTs from Bisu here. He's now starting up his second gateway, and he obviously wanted to make sure he got rid of that probe, and now obviously he's got Dragoons and a couple of Zealots guarding that entrance to his natural expo just to prevent Free from getting another scout in. Probe being chased by Bisu's Dragoon, and Free has to be aware that Bisu's going to be doing something like this, and it's just a question of whether or not Free, I think Free, the fact that Bisu held back on that second gateway had to give Free the information that Bisu would be going for a tech build, that he would be going for something, and we are indeed seeing the Templar Archive, so we're going to be seeing ground DTs from Bisu in this matchup. And if you guys haven't seen the matchup that Caller and I have dueled, I suggest you watch that first, because I will be spoiling the results of that. That is going to be the matchup of Bisu versus, I believe, GoGo, which was in the OSL round of 16. So if you haven't seen that, it'll be spoiled for you. But this is the second match, so guys, I'm going to be spoiling it now. This is the second match in a row where I've watched Bisu go ground DTs. I don't know why, he just seems to have gotten this kind of DT obsession. You know, it's kind of like the time when Mrs. Klazart got obsessed with Thai sweet chili sensation crisps, and for a week she would eat nothing else. Well, I mean, she would eat something else, but anytime you had a packet of Thai sweet chili sensations, she just couldn't let them go. And to Bisu, right now, it seems those Dark Templar seem as tasty as Thai sweet chili sensations, even though they're not really offering any nourishment or sustenance. They're just flavor. He hasn't really been able to pull off a lot of victories recently with them. Bisu's now got the 4 Dragoons out. He's managed to corner one of Free's, he's managed to separate Free's forces. Free pushing out with 4 Dragoons and 2 Zealots, but Bisu does have the 4 Dragoons to support his Dark Templar and the 2 Zealots, and I think that's key because he's gonna leave Free thinking that he is just going for more of a standard build. Bisu now taking his expansion as well, and he's now got those 2 DTs out. Free should have put down a robotics facility and observatory by now, because he wasn't able to get that scout in Bisu's base. He saw that Bisu didn't put that second gateway up straight away, and he has the observatory out, so Bisu's DTs shouldn't be very effective, and I believe he's sending those DTs out without any ground support, without any Dragoons or anything to accompany them, so it just seems to me like Free will be able to defend this comfortably with the use of his observer. Bisu now forced to put photon cannons down because Free does have the superior ground force, and Bisu is going to have to rely on those cannons to help him in his